I had a long travel behind me working with different guys like Gavin Hurley, Matthias Tansman, Dakar, Ian Pooley, and I had some nice 12 inches in my hand, but I was still searching for the one who could be the producer for the whole album.
We knew from talking about music and DJing together that we had a lot of in common. This is how it all started, and then he approached me. We recorded Lower Instincts for the compilation, and we had fun recording that track. And afterwards he sent me this long email and asked me if and explained his situation as far as recording an album goes, and basically asked me if I wanted to do it. And I thought I'll give it a go. I found it quite challenging actually, but in a positive way to do that, because I've worked with a lot of people in the past, but I've never produced an album for someone, so first time.
Basically, I knew that the whole mood, that the atmosphere of the album should be house, and of course I knew that it should have soul in it and funkiness and sexiness and all these coordinates that are really important for me in all my productions. When you are a DJ producer, you always have this balance act of do I want to do only a club album that's only a sequence of club tracks, or do I want to tell more of a story, or can I tell more of a story? And of course I wanted to try this, but in the end I would have preferred to have a good club album rather than a bad concept album. But I think the result is something in between. It's a club album, but it still tells a story, and you still can hear it at home or on the car or wherever.
We both, when we DJ, we always look for these special tracks, the tracks that you can play in the middle of the night or early morning. They're just, they kick ass, but at the same time they have depth, they have soul and warmth.
It became clear to me that to give this album the same strong fingerprint as the last one, I wanted to use a lot of samples again, and so we were constantly working on our sample archives.
From basically day one, he came here every day with like 50, 100 records, and we sampled and sampled. I think all in all, we sampled over, I think, 45 bangs, and each bang has 60 sounds. So you can do the math. If I would say, it would be okay for me to use a sample that is 3.5 seconds long in a track, he would want it to be chopped into a fragment of a second. On every track we layered lots and lots of sounds. Often we use kind of percussive sounds, but we tuned them so they have a tone that is very typical for DJT, what he likes. And also it turned out that we used a lot of vocals on the album, but again the same way. What was originally a rather long sample, like a full phrase, we chopped it up and we just throw them in within a song. And they're also never there to really become like a hook line.
Especially vocals, because this became clear pretty fast that this was one of the red lines of the album, to work with shortcutted vocal samples and to use these vocal samples as at the same time this kind of groove percussion element, but also to give the tracks certain kind of atmospheres. Some effects we were finding that are going through the whole album, and especially how you produce the kick and bass section proportional to the other frequencies. That's a science for itself, and it needed weeks for us to know how we want to do it. We had the feeling that there was already a common musical language through this production for this one track. But then we found out that to speak this language in the studio every day needed a lot more time.
Because of DJT's history as a DJ, he's got very good taste. He's also very aware of that. So in his head it's all there. But the question was, how can we transport that so I understand what he wants and I can then deliver? When you find the right thing that the other one was looking for, it's very rewarding. The more often you are successful, the more you develop the language, the common language, because each time something works, I memorize as T did the same thing, and at the end it was really nice to see things coming together. And I would play something, and at that stage I knew he will like that.
When two guys that haven't worked before are coming together, then it's always an issue that you have to build up this chemistry and make adjustments and make big compromises, and everybody has to take a step back sometimes and trying to take back the ego, you know, and sometimes just letting it go and seeing what's happening if the other guy can do in this moment what he has in mind, and yeah, not stopping the flow too much.
I think we both really learned through the whole process to respect each other even more, because you could tell that there were times when we doubted what the other one was probably favoring, but after a while when you saw the results you realized that the other one really, there's a plan somehow, and it's coming out more and more.
For the last 4 or 5 weeks we really have been through all these issues, and suddenly there was this magic. The last 5 weeks then was a really euphoric run through the last period. This for me is the perfect groove track, and I really love the vocal sample in this. It gives a really good atmosphere, so it's kind of favorite track for me, and that was the reason why I was choosing it for the first single. But maybe there are 2 or 3 tracks that are even stronger and will be liked by more people out there, like Batteria and Shine On and all these tracks.
It's probably the most obvious track because it's really standout. But Batteria is my favorite. Batteria is just one of these tracks when we recorded. Even while we're recording it, we both looked at each other and we knew this is really, really good. Right? I wouldn't change a thing about it.
I think we were both going out of it really inspired, and we're already like brainstorming whether we could even start a complete different project with a different style, or for sure we would work on some remixes now when remixes offers are coming in, and I think we will do for sure a follow-up like a versus 12-inch, you know, like we did before on Get Physical. Yeah, I'm sure that this was not the last what we were doing.